Yes, this is the Slam Dunk series, episode 1. We're very excited to bring it to you. Those of you who've watched the channel for a little bit, we normally do gig vlogs, but we're going to be doing some festivals this summer. First of which is Slam Dunk. So we're going to tell you a little bit about it, what our plan is, and we'll go from there. Slam Dunk Festival is the official start of the UK festival season, which is super exciting for everybody who gets to go. And for those of you who are not familiar with the festival itself, there are 2 venues. It's spread over the Maybank holiday weekend. There's one in the north and one in the south. It's the same lineup, just spread over that weekend. It's been around for an awful long time, and primarily it's a pop punk rock sort of festival. There are some heavy bands who get to play Slam Dunk as well, one of which is Imminence this year, and Landmarks as well, who've come all the way from France, which is great. There's loads of information about the festival on the Slam Dunk app, which actually, to be fair, is a really, really good app. You can get all the information around things like FAQs, things about parking, you can get the lineup, you can get the set times, and all that sort of stuff on the app. You can also see the map as well, which gives you a bit of an insight into what the layout's going to be. And layout is slightly different between the north and the south, so just make sure you click the right one in whichever one you go into. If you did want to see or hear about actually a more in-depth review as to what Slam Dunk's all about, I would definitely recommend the Lowdown podcast. I'll put a link in the description. As the name suggests, they typically do download stuff, but they've done a really specific episode on this year's Slam Dunks. I think it's the first time those guys are going this year. So they've gone into loads of detail about the history of the festival, who plays there, what their plans are. So yeah, I'll definitely put a link of that down in the description, and I encourage you to go ahead and listen.
So there's 6 of us going this year. Me, Jareth, Suzanne, Chris, travelling all the way from Swansea, and Karang and Ellis. Everyone's obviously been a part of the channel, so it's fabulous to have us all together. Travelling down the Saturday, obviously probably should mention we're doing Leeds, not south. Bunch of northerners apart from Suzanne and Chris, but you know. So 4 of us travelling from northwest, we're just going to drive there. A lot easier than the train nonsense. It's going to be busy, and we're staying in an Airbnb as well. If it's 6 of us and we stayed last year, I'm not even telling you what it is because it's beautiful, this Airbnb, and it's ours. I have it as soon as it comes available, it's ours. But we're doing that just outside of Leeds, or Leeds city centre. But from Leeds into Slam Dunk, you end up getting a taxi or getting the shuttle or a bus or something. So it makes no difference if you're in the city centre or you get an Airbnb outside, which is what I've figured out from previous years. So on the Saturday we just kind of make a night of it, which is good. The area that we stay in's got a few nice bars around there, so we play Past the Pigs in the room. This game's fucking sick. It's so good. You just gotta like flip pigs up in the air. And like, you get points depending on how they land. Suzanne and Chris claim to be very good at this game, but me and Jareth kicked their asses last year. And I think in trees we kicked their asses as well, so you know, I think we're the experts. So we do that. We obviously go to the pub and stuff, and then not too hungover because we can't handle our lives. We've got a little visitor here. Hi Dexter. Sunday, make sure we're not too hungover, get dressed and Uber down. That's probably the best way we found it to work. We can pre-book an Uber the day before, which has been really helpful, and we tend to get in like about an hour before like the gates officially open. Go and hang around like the main area. It's just annoying because like you can't buy any alcohol because there's like alcoholic here. You can't buy any alcohol for the first hour before the gates are open, so you just like going around. There's like one merch stand outside.
So Robin, what have we learned about Slam Dunk in the 2 years that we have been going so far?
Only 2 years, so we're still very new, by the way. But accommodation, I think, was the main thing. The first year we went, there was 4 of us, and we stayed in the Leonardo, I think it was, in
the hotel, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a hotel in Leeds city centre. It was great and all, but the price of it was a lot for what it was. It was like advertised like 4-star. It definitely wasn't a 4-star. It was not an amazing type thing. It was handy, but I think like accommodation, don't be worried too much about staying in Leeds city centre. Like that first year we were there, we wanted to be in Leeds city centre like for the night before and have a good time and like enjoy ourselves. And we went and we were like, what are we doing? Like, why are we here? It felt like there was nothing going on, and like we're getting ready for the day after. We're not going to want a heavy night, and I think we just headed straight back to the hotel and went to bed. It didn't seem worth it for us. And then last year we did an Airbnb just outside the Leeds for the first time, and it was the best experience we'd had. Like, it was so much fun, and we were all together, big group of us all together. The Airbnb was lovely. We'd booked well in advance, and yeah, it worked better for us. So I think, like, if you are going as a big group, look at Airbnbs rather than the hotels. Like, you get the better experience being together. I don't know about you.
Yeah, and the same, and sort of definitely don't worry about being in the city or too close to where Slam Dunk is, just because you can get an Uber, you can get a taxi, or you can get the shuttle. There are loads of different options, so accommodation is definitely number one. Next thing we have learned, go on Robin.
Merch, beginning of the day. So if you get there about an hour before the gates open, get it then. What was it? I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, being pissed both times. But me and Karina went to go and get him some merch. He didn't know about this, so we went to get him a nice top. And all the nice stuff had sold out by the point, and it was either headliner or sub-headliner. Just get it at the beginning of the day. If you can carry it on, you're great.
You do have to carry it around though.
But
That's
you can get lockers, so if you're going to plan ahead and you're going to buy loads, get the lockers. Like, I'm umming and ahhing doing that this year because I definitely want a hoodie. But
I actually didn't know they had lockers until this exact moment.
Oh, did you not?
No, genuinely. I knew they had them at download, but I didn't know they had them
Yeah,
here.
they've got lockers you can buy, but yeah, because I want to get the hoodie this year, but I'm like, I don't want to carry it. It won't go with my outfit. Can't wait for you to see my outfit.
And mine. Another thing we've learned, another recommendation we'd have for you is try and become as familiar with the layout of the site before you get there, which if you've never been before, it can be quite difficult. Use the app. So the app is pretty good, to be fair. It's got a sort of virtual map, and you can see where all the food vendors are, you see where all the toilets are, see where all the stages are, which means when you get there for the first time, you sort of in your mind's eye sort of know where things are. Probably make it a little bit easier for you. If you've been before, chances are that most things will be the same. There might be the odd little bit that's moved around. I know from the first year we went to the second year, there were quite a number of changes because there were some issues the first year we went in terms of layout. But yeah, certainly get yourself as familiar as you can with the lineup, the app, and the map as well. Another thing I have learned is to pace yourself with the drinks. So I have a distinct experience, a lived experience, almost an out-of-body experience of the first year we went to Slam Dunk, where the Offspring were headlining, and Ellis and I were stood almost at the front, and I was almost falling asleep. Not because the Offspring are pretty boring.
They're not your cup of tea. That's
and I don't know why I was.
I
think I was going to see them because I thought, I won't get a chance to see him again. Anyway, it doesn't matter why I was there. But anyway, I was basically falling asleep. You know, when you're so drunk, you sort of do that weird, like, falling asleep thing. I was basically doing that at a music festival at a headline main stage set. Absolutely embarrassing. Robin and Karina were having the time of their life, sat at the back watching Enter Shikari on the other stage.
Getting food,
Yeah. Honest to God. So I had an absolute shocker. But the lesson learned is pace yourself with a drink, because it's a long day. It is exciting first thing at 11, 12 and 1 o'clock. But just pace yourself is what I'd say. I'm going to be doing that this year.
He says.
Maybe.
So, my turn. Food. Make sure you eat. Oh my God, cannot. Oh, it was that first year that we went was the disaster year with the food vendors, wasn't it?
They were just in the wrong place in the map, which just made it impossible to get food, basically.
There was no way of getting food, and we were like, it was a stacked lineup for us. It was the first year. We were overexcited. We were like, sod it, we won't eat. It's why he was falling asleep for the Offspring, because he hadn't eaten all day. And at that point, that was when Karina and I went to go and get some food. We got it for the four of us. They were at the front for the Offspring. Me and Karina just like went for a wander and got some food, sat at the back and kind of like refreshed at that point. But I think from last year, we've definitely like learn, go and eat. Like make sure, just find, like we had pizza last year and I never get pizza at a festival. I eat it all the time at home. I'm not going to eat it at a festival. But it was the vendor that was next to us that had no queue, just there. And you know what, our experience between the two is so different, just because we'd eaten at about 3-4 o'clock when we had the small little gap in between. But yeah, take advantage, because the queues can be big. They definitely sorted it out last year, but take advantage when you can. If you've got a break, get something to eat.
Soaks up the beer.
Right, so toilets, take a bathroom break when you can, like just plan it in. If you have 5 minutes, go for a wee. First year was horrendous again, same with the food, couldn't go for a wee. I remember Trash Boat were playing and we wanted to go and see them, and I spent their entire set waiting for the toilet.
You did,
and
I remember that.
And like missing a set of a band is just like, it's completely unacceptable to go for a wee. They've definitely improved this year, well last year it was, sorry, definitely improved, but like I think if you're just walking past the toilet and you think, oh, I might need a wee, go. Just go, get it out the way, because it'll come a point where you can't and the queues will be ridiculous. And just don't do what I did and miss a set of something because you just couldn't order it anymore. It's devastating.
They are typical festival toilets as well, so bring your own wipes, toilet paper, whatever you want to do.
Do you have urinals there for men?
Oh yeah, for the men it's fine, unless you need a poo, in which case...
Yeah, it's you guys.
Bring your wipes.
Loving our fucking toilets.
There's never a queue at the boys, that's all I'll say.
Right, so getting out of the festival. We've only got experiences getting taxis out, which first year we went, we got the like black cab setup they had there, which worked a fucking treat. It was so good considering it was a bit of a nightmare with everything in that festival in the year. Getting the taxi was so easy. We were in the queue for about 10 minutes, no issue whatsoever. Last year, so it was a bit more of an issue. So there was 5 of us last year, and Suzanne and Chris decided they wanted to go about halfway through You Me at 6. So they just went to the taxi queue, as you would. Anyway, You Me at 6 had finished. We'd went to the DJ set, about an hour there, come back, and they were still like the queue, like it wasn't even that big of a queue, but there was just no taxis.
It just wasn't moving,
and
basically.
They were like miles behind, considering they'd been there for about 2 hours. And then I'd ordered us an Uber for 5, bearing in mind, not just your standard Uber, like we had to get a bigger one. Ordered that to like the edge of the park it was.
Yeah, you sort of had to walk out of where the festival is, and you sort of walked down the road, and then you guys jumped in the Uber and waited, and myself, Suzanne and Chris, I think, waited sort of at the front of the taxi line, and as it came around the roundabout, you opened the sliding doors and we all just jumped in. So we got sort of lucky there really, but
it shows like they waited for a taxi for about 2 hours, where we ordered an Uber straight away, and it came within like, it was like 10-15 minutes. It was a bit of a walk away, but like for the hassle that they had, like I felt so sorry for them. They'd made the plan to go, and then they were honestly, they just hadn't moved in this queue, and we just dragged them out like, come with us and we'll get one in. I'd definitely say we'll be looking at Uber this year.
I think what I'd say is check what setup it is, because the first year we went, it was absolutely fine, no issues. The second year we went, it was a complete disaster. So this year
it felt like
there may be something slightly different again, so just check what they've got and then sort of try and make a drunken decision on the day, really.
No,
is what I'd say.
First year, I think they had like multiple taxi firms.
Okay.
Because that's what it felt like. Whereas this last year, I don't know what was going on, but Suzanne
don't think they knew what was going on either, to be fair.
But they left halfway through the headline, I think, and they'd go, and that was not the case. In the after parties. So we have
the official Slam Dunk after parties, not some random flat in Leeds that you've ended up in.
So festivals finished and you go to a venue with a ticket. They tend to sell out quite quick.
It's only like 12 quid, isn't it?
It's not even that, it's less than a tenner.
Right, okay.
And a pair of us were over 30, so you've got...
We don't look it, but we are.
We were very optimistic that first year that we would do it. And I think about a month before, I said to our group, I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. I don't think we will be able to do this.
This is the year I'm falling asleep at the front of Offspring. So I was not in a fit state to go and after party anything, to be honest.
Oh, it was so funny. But yeah, so anyway, we resold the tickets. But there is like official like after parties you can go to, which to be fair, they look sick, and it looked like they put loads of effort in last year with multiple venues and stuff. For us, it's not our thing, and it's not until like do with it. It's just we've got a full day. Like we go 11 till 11 at the festival, and there's no way we're lasting after that because we drink a lot in the day and we just want to get home. But I think that's one thing. If you do decide to go, you can always get resales because we sold ours. And it looked really fun. If you can stay up, fucking great. If I could stay up, I'd be going, but we've got to travel home on the Monday, and there's just no chance. Like we've had 2 busy days, got no chance. But
we could do it this year.
We're not doing it this year. We're all...
Okay, so we're back from our lovely walk outside, and right now we're going to do our Clashfinder to see who we're going to go and see at Slam Dunk this year. You ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so load up the app.
Okay.
We're going to put it up on screen, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through each stage in turn and see which bands we want to see, and then at the end we're going to look through what sort of clashes we've got and then delete bands as we go. So it should get quite interesting towards the end. Okay, so we're at the Key Club stage, and the first band on there is Grey Wind.
So excited, favourite!
So automatic yes from both of us. For those who've watched the channel for a little bit, we've seen Grey Wind before. Is that video out?
Yes, the Medina Lake one.
It is it's the Medina Lake video that no one's watched, but Grey Wind with the support, and they were absolutely incredible. And we met them afterwards. There's such nice people as well. So yeah, that is an absolute 100% yes from us.
Yeah, 100%.
Winona Fighter. I've not heard of them, Robin.
No.
Okay. Kid Bucky.
People have spoken about it. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, not for me. Mouth Culture.
Yes!
Right, so, okay. I was about to say, we've not discussed Mouth Culture before.
No, we haven't.
I'd heard someone else talk about them being sort of a bit of an old school You Me at 6 with some more modern vibes on there. So, and I think they supported You Me at 6 on some of their latest tours. So, Heart Attack Man, never heard. Free Throw, never heard. Delilah Bond, I've heard of.
We seen them before, I think it was Cemetery Sun at Download. They just weren't our cup of tea.
Okay, happy to give
Do
it
you
a miss.
remember that?
I don't, which probably tells you everything you need to know. Split Chain, I feel like I've heard of them, but again, I'm not sure about them. Robin, no. Graphic Nature. We've seen.
I don't like them more than I do.
Yeah, Graphic Nature are really heavy. For anyone who doesn't know Graphic Nature, they are super, super heavy. We've seen them support, I think, Iceland Kills maybe 18 months ago in Wolverhampton.
They're alright. I'm not fussed like about seeing them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next one.
South Arcade. Get them ticked right now. They are so good. They're from Oxford in the UK. They seem to be bringing this sort of mid-naughty sort of like vibe to what they're doing. They're absolutely incredible. I absolutely love South Arcade. I've seen them a couple of times already. Yes, they are an absolute must. Okay, headlining the Key Club stage is a band called Scowl. I've never heard of them, don't know them. Any advance on that? Okay, cool.
Okay.
So that is the Key Club stage. On to the next one. Okay, so the next stage is the Karang stage. And this is opened up at 11:40 by Lake Malice.
I can already see a bunch of beautiful bands here, but yeah.
So, yeah, let's focus on Lake Malice right now. So I've heard of Lake Malice, but I don't know why I've heard of them, and I don't know. I can't.
You know what? I think they were supporting Throne.
In other words, no, it's probably going to be a no for us on that one. Sophie Powers.
I had a pet lizard named George.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not bothered. Do you want to see it?
No, I love the whole American Idol thing where she went on with that song, and that song's been doing really well.
Karens, shut the up. Vegans, shut the up. Babies, shut the up. Everyone needs to shut the up.
At 1:30, Point North. Absolutely,
on the
yes.
schedule. They're
Tick
on the,
that band.
yeah.
They are great.
They will be one that we're going to see.
Yeah, they sound amazing. The sort of they're not like the heaviest band you'll ever hear, but they sort of
Very
have some
pop punk.
Yeah, the pop punk, but they've got some heavier sort of riffs, I think, as well. I See Stars. I won't be seeing stars, I don't think. Robin, will you be seeing stars?
I will not be seeing stars. However, I will be seeing Rain City Drive, so let's put that in there right now.
Rain City Drive. You know, we've seen them before. Did you know that?
I do know that, and I just don't believe it.
No offence, he seems to be doing the rounds quite a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, not for me.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy with a no for now.
Oh, your favourite band, Twin Atlantic?
They're not my favourite band at all.
They are your favourite. Oh, you always have to say, oh, that's that Scottish band, they're really good.
No, I'm on about, I like We Came as Romans, they're the band I like.
That's got nothing to do with Twin Atlantic.
Well, that's why I wondered where you were going with this, to be honest.
Anyway,
Alright.
as it is, the album they're doing as well, I can't remember which album it is.
I have to put them as a tick.
Yeah, we are putting them as a tick.
I've heard a few good songs from them, so really excited about them.
Yeah, it's a comeback for them as well, so.
Yes. We're getting into the meat of this now. Wargasm.
Hard no from me.
Yeah. Also a no from me. We've seen them twice before.
Yeah, I think we have.
Seen them at their own show in Manchester, and we also saw them at Download last year. Was it last year or the year before? It doesn't matter really. It's just...
Yeah, it was last year.
They're sort of everywhere at the minute. They're doing really well. It's just not our thing, is it?
No.
I do get it. I get why people like it.
Yeah.
But it's not for us.
I'm going to take Hot Milk, but I already know this is going to be a hard situation.
I'm absolutely gonna take Hot Milk because they're absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we really like them.
Love them. Seen them a bunch of times. Love what they're doing. It is going to cause.
The new stuff's very good as well.
Yeah, it is going to cause a problem in the clashes, but we'll get to that later.
Right.
Okay, so the next stage is the Monster Energy stage. Okay, this is opening up with the Meths.
You're a meth.
Oh, well, in that case, yes, but the band, no. Don't think we're going to see them. A band called Save Ferris. Never heard of them. Homegrown.
This is the one we thought was the home team for ages.
Oh, so we love a band called the Home Team. I think they're from Seattle in America, and the artwork on the poster looks just like Home Team, and we got very excited when we first saw it, but it's not them, it's Homegrown. So yeah, still a no from us. However, the Ataris.
Right, I don't know anything they do other than the cover of Boys of Summer, and it is.
I think that's good enough.
Stunning. So I'm putting it on there just for that song.
We'll put them as a yes. It's always good to have a veto when the clashes come out, so that's fine. Aquabats.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, neither have I. You know what? Zebrahead.
I'm
going to go an absolute hard yes, and I will move heaven and earth to see this band, and I'll tell you why.
I'll tell you for why.
I'll tell you for why.
And I'll tell you for why.
Because feels like every festival we've been to, Zebrahead have been there. And you know where we haven't been? Where they are. And it's an absolute crime. That's what it is. So I'm going to move heaven and earth to see them this time. So when it gets to the clashes later, we might have to have a fight because Zebrahead are in like the top 3 or 4 bands I want to see at Slam Dunk this year.
Okay.
Streetlight Manifesto.
I've heard of them. Don't know any songs.
I know a couple of songs from a long time ago, and
oh yeah, you are, don't you?
Yeah, I do. We were on that drive. Do you remember? And they popped up on the playlist, and I just randomly started singing this song. I was like, oh my god, I know this song from years ago. Who's this? Oh, it's Streetlight Manifesto. They're playing at Slam Dunk. They are a lot of fun. They're a sort of ska sort of band, and they're a lot of fun. But they probably don't do enough for me to get a tick.
Okay, less than Jake.
And we're going to be busy at that time, and I know that's not the point of this, but we are going to be busy at that time. Less Than Jake, I feel like we've seen them before.
No, we haven't.
Have we not?
No, not for me.
I feel like I can't tick them if I'm not going to tick Streetlight Manifesto.
Alkaline Trio?
No, I'm not bothered about them. Who was I listening to the other day who was obsessed with them? I think it was the Lowdown podcast. They were saying that they're desperate to see Alkaline Trio. I don't know.
At that time, it's
think
going to
I've-
be A Day to Remember, Electric Callboy. You've got no chance.
I think I've missed the boat on them as well. I couldn't name a single song from, either Less Than Jake or Alkaline Trio, to be fair. So, Robin, any thoughts on that now?
No, I'm happy. And then Closing Party featuring Millionaires.
I'm all right.
No, I'll pass
Thanks.
on that
Yeah,
one as
no.
well. No,
Okay,
that's it.
on to the next one. The penultimate stage is Main Stage East. So, up first is Defects. I do not know Defects, not familiar with their work. Robin?
I've heard of them and they are pretty good. I'm not even going to bother because it's the same time as Grey Wind and no one is
That's
taking
not what
that.
this is about. Do you want to see Defects? And we'll deal with the clash at the end.
No.
Okay. However, Dream State.
You know what? I want to like them more than I do. I know Chris and Suzanne love them. I know you like them.
Yeah, they're good. They're very good.
I don't know. I just can't get on the same wavelength. But
I'm
if
a
you're a
tick.
tick, so we'll
I'm
call
a
it
tick,
tick.
yep.
Eminence, yes, 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 yes. Yes, they are beautiful. Oh my god.
Yeah, the latest stuff with it's not a violin where he pulls out the cello at the sort of thing.
No, it's like the cello but with the guitar.
Yeah, the Pro and Heavily bands at Slam Dunk this year, along with the next band, which
Yes!
I know Robin will be an automatic yes, which is Landmarks.
Landmarks, stunning, stunning, stunning. New album, stunning, stunning, man. They are probably up there with one of my favourites that have been announced to Slam Dunk. I'm so buzzing for these.
Which, to be fair, if you were to say, oh, there's a French band who rap in French and scream in English, would you like it? On paper, that doesn't really sound right, but actually when you put it together in the form of Landmarks, absolutely incredible. So, yeah, they're an absolute yes. Straight from the Path. Not familiar with any of their work,
No,
to be
I think
honest.
I need to listen to them, to be honest.
Finch.
Always get confused that that's the Finch featuring on Electric Callboy song.
So I can confirm it's not the Finch from Electric Callboy, but
It's definitely one from, I think it was like
a little while ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the work, to be fair, so I can't say yes to that.
Okay.
The Used. Now, so you've ticked it.
I know I've ticked
There's a caveat here. What album are they playing?
Anyway.
However, there is a band who is headlining this stage, and it is Electric Callboy, and it's an absolute must-see.
We will be seeing them start to finish. We will sacrifice everything.
Anyone going to Slam Dunk this year who wants to see a band and have a good time, Electric Callboy is absolutely the one to see, because they are everything that you want in terms of a high tempo, high energy, exciting band. They're incredible.
Just fun. Like,
they are absolutely,
so
yeah, so much fun.
So much fun. Yeah, we will be there. We will drop everything to be there.
Okay, on to the next one. Okay, so the final stage is the Main Stage West, and this is getting opened up by a band called Sweet Pill. Not familiar with their work, so they're a no from me. Robin, no? Okay. Hit the Lights? Okay, no from me as well. Knuckle Puck. I feel like I've heard of them,
yeah, I've
but
heard of them,
again, not familiar with their stuff. So, which, you know what? I'm sort of happy to avoid the main stage earlier on in the day.
We always avoid the main stage.
Yeah, I like spending some time at the smaller stages. That's my advice to anyone. Spend as much time at as many stages as you can. So actually, not spending all day at the main stage is not too bad a thing. On at 2:30 is Movements. Again, not...
Heard of them,
Yeah.
couldn't name a song.
Okay. The Starting Line.
Heard of them, couldn't name a song.
Same, yeah. We're rattling through these. Hot Mulligan, again, heard of them, can't name a song. However, here we are. Newfound Glory. They're an absolute yes for me. They are absolute Karang nostalgia. Get that ticked right now. It's going to cause a problem when the clashes come out. I know it is, but...
It's fine, it's an easy no.
Neck Deep.
Yeah.
Absolute yes. We love Neck Deep. We've seen them a billion,
already
what feels like
know.
a billion times.
This is going to be the biggest issue of the day.
But yeah, we do know it's going to be an issue. But we love Neck Deep. They are absolutely amazing. And Robin's jumping the gun here. A Day to Remember, obviously, yes. They're headlining the whole thing, so we're obviously going to be there.
Yeah.
A Day to Remember is one of them bands where I know loads of their songs, but I don't realise I know them. So I'm like, oh, I haven't really followed them as much. And then you put them on and you're like, oh my God, yeah, I absolutely love these. And also the new album that came out this year
Stunning.
Is absolutely incredible. So
Stunning.
okay, so this is the last bit. We're ready to do the clashes now. We've selected all the bands we want to see. We know there are going to be some headaches here to sort out. And there may be a divorce on the cards, but we'll see how we get on. We'll see how we go.
Dun, dun, dun.
So our first band.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
At
No
11,
clashing.
what is that? 11:55 is Greywind, and thankfully there's nothing above it. So let's just demonstrate the point. If we were to take the little star off at the top right there, you would see that you could see all the bands who were playing at that time. But if you then apply your star and go back to set times, that's when it looks so empty. So that's why we did the first bit of showing you what bands we wanted to see first, because then you get your own personalised schedule, which is pretty cool. So Greywind are all in the clear, as are Dream State on main stage
No
East.
way. Who else is playing at that time? Right, sorry, I'm ruining the... No way, I've only saw him. Well, I'm going to see Sophie Powers.
Why?
Because I want to see someone else. I thought she'd be clashing. Right, I'm going to see Sophie Powers, just to let you know. Anyway.
You think you've planned something, and here we are. Okay, so all I can see is that we've got Dream State.
Oh no!
Okay, so here is our first problem. Okay, so
oh, for fuck's sake!
at 1:30, we're going to be going to see Point North.
I didn't know this was happening.
They're on 30 minutes, but halfway through that set, that's when Imminence start, and they're on for around 40 minutes by the looks of things. Yeah. So I think we've got choices here. We can either say we're not seeing Point North at all and we're going straight to Imminence, or we could catch 15 minutes of Point North and then nip over to Imminence for the start, or we could watch all of Point North and then jump in for the last half of Imminence.
So,
Go on.
I think
Go on. What are you thinking?
Imminence are playing 2000 Trees. Spoiler alert.
Are they?
I think they are.
You think they are?
I think they are.
Or they are?
I think they are.
Okay.
About 80% sure they are. Could be completely wrong. And if that's
Okay.
the case, full Point North, then to Imminence.
I'm
But so far away usually. I don't know what the...
in the camp of doing Point North for 15-20 minutes and then jumping over to Imminence.
What if Imminence is on the trees?
Yeah, if Imminence are playing 2000 Trees, which we are also doing, then I'm happy to do what you've said, do the full Point North, then catch the back half of Imminence.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay, let's go with that. Ooh, straight. It would be straight over to a combination of Mouth Culture, Ataris, and then Landmarks.
Okay, so I already know my answer to this. Swerve Mouth Culture, swerve the Ataris, and go and see Landmarks. We will already be at Imminent Stage, which is the main stage East. I'm gonna stay there. I'm gonna get a good spot for Landmarks, and I'm gonna enjoy myself.
Okay.
And they open with Creature, which is my favourite song by them. So
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that. Maybe the only thing I'd say is maybe at the end of Imminence, maybe go and catch 10-15 minutes of Mouth Culture, but
they're around a lot and they're like quite a new and upcoming band, so I think they'll be in a few places.
Okay.
I think they may be at Download as well, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay, so it might be straight to Landmarks after Imminence, which
Yeah.
actually, to be fair,
Same
we talked before
stage.
about finding a spot to eat. That gives us time to grab a bit of food. I know it's sort of it's not really lunch or dinner really, but actually there's a good 20-minute gap there to go and grab a bit of food if we've not had anything by then. Okay.
We're not seeing the Ataris.
No, the Ataris is going to have to get dropped from that lineup, I think. Oh, Robin, Rain City Drive.
That's fine. End of Landmark, straight to Rain City Drive. I'm
Let's catch
fine
the
with
end.
that.
Okay.
We will literally, to be fair, I'll probably check out Landmark, so...
Anyway, let's
Oh,
scoot along.
it's tea time now.
Bloody hell, we've got a big gap there.
Call it-
Oh, look at that. Oh, zebra head.
No!
All on their own.
No way!
I'll allow it. Absolutely love to see
No
it.
way! I'm sorry, I've gone off script again. We're going Zebra Head. Where are you? Right. It is literally no one else clashing with it. We're going to see Zebra Head finally.
Absolutely love to see it.
And we're going to get tea. Well, that's when we'll get tea
Yeah,
there.
we'll bring us some food.
Yeah.
To be fair, there's no sense, no problem in eating there.
You know what? We've never had a gap that big at Slam Dunk.
Do you know what it is though? We'll probably end up finding a band to go and watch or listen to at that moment who we're not expecting to see, which if you do have a gap that big, definitely take the opportunity to go and see a band who you weren't expecting to see or you don't even know or like, because you never know what you're going to find. That would be my advice. So anyway, let's keep things scrolling around past Zebra Head.
I don't want to. I'm so nervous.
Oh, look at that. So we get to see Newfound Glory as well. This is all happening for me. This is great. I've enjoyed this exercise. This is
we're
great.
at a point here. So we've got Newfound Glory, the used, and then As It Is.
So I definitely want to start this section off with Newfound Glory, and I think we will do that. That's fine. Depending on, we'll confirm the album that the used are playing, but we probably will jump over to the used at some point. Okay, so we've sorted that out, and now we've got big problems. Okay, so now we've got big problems.
Okay.
So at around, what time is that?
That's 7 o'clock onwards.
So yeah, from basically 7 p.m. onwards, we've got issues. So on the main stage west, you've got Neck Deep starting around 7:20. At the same time, or thereabouts, 5 minutes later, you've got South Arcade, and you've also then got at 7:45 Electric Callboy on main stage east. Now, I adore Neck Deep. I also adore South Arcade. However, Electric Callboy are probably they're probably in my top 3 bands. So, and I also want to make sure we've got a good spot for Electric Callboy, because for anyone who's ever seen him before, it's an absolute rave, it's an absolute party, and what you will see in probably episode 2 of the Slam Dunk series is how we're going to be dressed, which is a big surprise.
Not me.
Which means that we may end up missing both South Arcade and Neck Deep.
We have seen Neck Deep this year, and we've seen them.
Yeah.
We've seen them a couple of times. Seen them last year.
We have.
Did we see them last year?
Yeah, we did the acoustic
we
set.
did the acoustic set, and then the year before we did we've seen them 2 times, so we have seen them a lot.
Yeah. And South Arcade, I've seen them a couple of times in the last couple of years as well. I'm desperate to see them again, but Electric Callboy takes the win on this. It's just going to have to be done. It's
going to have to be done.
And then...
so I knew it happened.
This is a real shame, because we absolutely love Hot Milk as well. You know, they're from the sort of north of England area, Preston, Manchester sort of area. And
she used to live around the corner from us.
She did, and you know, it's a shame that we can't see Hot Milk again. We've seen them loads of times anyway, but we have to give a date to remember the priority here. I think
we have to give them the credit they deserve.
100%, and we saw Hot Milk headline a tent at Trees last year, and I think they're doing something at Trees this year as well. Again. So we're definitely going to get a chance to see them in a couple of months, which will be a lot of fun. So yeah, absolutely a day to remember in this slot. And then that's it.
So I think the worst clash is probably, looking on paper, is Melt Culture, the Ataris, and Landmarks. I think
for me though, it's further along. So it's
I think when it starts to get to Newfound Glory, they use and As It Is as well. But then you've got Neck Deep, Electric Callboy, and South Arcade.
That's the one for me. But because we've seen Neck Deep so much, and we've seen South Arcade a couple of times, and the priority for Electric Callboy based on the attire that will be there, I think we need to prioritise that. And obviously gutted to miss Hot Milk, but that's fine. I think a day to remember are absolutely fine there. So let us know who you're going to see. Let us know about your clashes that you're going to have a headache thinking about. And yeah, we'll hope to see you at Slam Dunk 2025.